Mm. Hi again, Georgia.
Hi.
This is Georgia Barnwell from energyfortransformation.com, and I'm Nancy Forrester, the Executive Director of the National EFT Training Institute, and Georgia is one of our graduates. And I love the way Georgia and I have been doing a series of videos on how she integrates conscious EFT, which is NeftTi's approach to integrating emotional freedom techniques into a whole transformational approach to healing and growth, and how Georgia brings in all of her different training and different energy modalities. And in this video, Georgia's going to specifically talk to us about how she brings the concept of calling in the circle together with Conscious EFT's bronze tapping as a layered support for the nervous system. So Georgia, I'm just going to send it over to you to have a conversation about that.
Hey, thanks, Nancy. Well, this has been such an interesting journey for me. Um, Certainly, when I discovered tapping, that opened a lot of doors for me. I had studied nutrition and energy work and Reiki and all of, but there was some sort of block where I wasn't able to really access. I had a lot of external uh, energy, but I didn't have anything in here. I didn't have any grounding, centering, didn't know who I was inside. And so finally, I found that conscious EFT was a really key doorway.
Mm.
It made it safer for me to explore the other practices more deeply.
Mm.
And so this probably time wise, like my learning about tapping way back and benefiting to some extent from that kind of helped me open other doors, and I started spending a lot of time with some shamanic circles around Nova Scotia, and that was a real that was very nourishing and like a homecoming for me, because I had never experienced that somatic feeling of safety that I had
Wow.
in shamanic circles. So for me, that was the touchstone. Oh, wow, I really like the way I felt. I want to feel like that more often. So, okay, so how to explore that? So that's how my journey has unfolded. And I have found certainly now that combining conscious EFT and what we know about the nervous system and how all of these practices can reinforce safety nervous system. And that for me has been, the flavor of the things that I like to do.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Will, you in the last video you and I did together, you offered us this beautiful example of how to call in the circle. And so I'm hoping that you can share with us now how you might integrate some conscious EFT with some calling in the circle. Is that possible?
Yes, certainly. Well, I start my morning doing some tapping
Mhm.
and maybe some Donna Eden energy routine just to get this kind of electromagnetic vehicle grounded and ready to explore the day. So I would do a lot of Brown's tapping. I would call in the circle, and as I'm calling it in, I'm tapping.
Yeah.
And so if I'm facing water, I'm tapping on the kidney point. If I'm facing air, I'm tapping on the lung point, and or I'm just tapping. So I would call in the circle, and then I would spend another round at least going around to the directions and offering gratitude, but talking about what's going on for me. So I would do a lot of tapping and talking. And I find that I have a lot of breakthroughs,
Mhm.
sometimes a breakdown and there are a lot of tears,
Yeah.
but I'm safe enough to be held in that space to process what's going on for me. And then to carry the new insights into my day. So this is like a container where it can all happen. Everything can go into the container, but it comes out the other end in a transformed way, which is what we want, isn't it?
That's what we want, right? To process the information that used to be unprocessable because
Exactly.
the nervous system didn't have the capacity at the time
That's
to
right.
process the information. And so now layering this bronze tapping with this beautiful calling in of all the energies of which we are part, and allowing that information, that energy to be processed here today within the safe container. It's like, oh,
Yeah, and for me, that has totally changed my life.
yeah. I really hear the power, even if people listening to us don't know which points are associated with fire or water.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. I even just turning toward I'm turning my chair because east is in this direction for me right now. Turning toward the east and bronze tapping is going to invite the nervous system to process using the love of the east for
Yes.
support.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And there is so much going on in our subconscious and from our ancestral experience that informs that
Yeah.
just by showing up and being there and allowing it to
Yeah.
come insights or comfort or yeah.
This is one of the things I love about Conscious EFT is this ability it gives us to work purely at the level of energy. You know,
Exactly.
all my years as a therapist and all my therapeutic training, it was all at the level of the intellect, all the cognition, all the thinking stuff, which is great, but it's not as powerful as getting to this very core place of working purely energetically. And so I might turn to the east. I might say a prayer of gratitude for the love and support of the east as I'm tapping, and whatever comes up is whatever comes up, and I don't need to know what that is.
Exactly. Exactly. It's such a comforting place, and it's certainly like giving over the responsibility for all of the details we need to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's very much uh, a surrender of control.
It is.
Right?
Yes. And that's a practice that I am getting a little better at.
Aren't we
It,
all? A little bit by a little bit by a little
it
bit.
explore trust and see how that can open up.
Yeah. So in order to be helpful to people who maybe haven't had much shamanic experience, or calling in the circle is something new to them, I wonder how we might just make this as simple as possible. So if we were to say, first turn to the east, start your basic tapping algorithm. And Georgia, what 3 words might you suggest to a person who's facing east and willing to take in the support of the East?
Oh, the breath of life,
Breath of life,
new beginnings,
new beginnings,
and lightness.
and lightness. Beautiful. And just tapping, breathing, and saying those words.
Yeah.
And then we would move to
And perhaps asking for new perspectives.
asking for new perspectives. Beautiful. And then we would turn to the south.
Yes.
And what 3 words and what request would we make? Tapping, facing south.
A warmth and connection, illumination, creativity.
Creativity. And the request, does a separate request come for you?
I would just say how to walk forward again, illuminate my path today.
Illuminate my path today. And then west.
West, yes. Water.
Water.
Soothing the emotion.
Soothing emotions.
Nourishing with wisdom.
Nourishing with wisdom.
And how to flow flexibly forward.
How to flow flexibly forward.
That's one of my questions.
I could tell from the way you said that. How might I move flexibly forward here?
That's an issue.
And then finally, north.
North. Gratitude for the ancestors.
Mm.
Gratitude for the earth connection. Feeling safe and rooted.
Feeling safe and rooted. And a request.
Asking to be guided. Again, guided forward.
Guided forward. Guided forward. Beautiful. And then what comes to you right in this moment, Georgia, as a conscious closing to calling in the circle?
I stand open and ready to receive the blessings and lessons of my highest good.
I stand open and ready to receive the blessings for my highest good. It's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Connect with Georgia at energyfortransformation.com. And you can connect with me at the National EFT Training Institute at our website, NeftTi.com and EFTTI.com. Thank you, Georgia. Such a pleasure.
Thank you, Nancy. It's always wonderful.